Welcome back today. We're diving into the action-packed, heart-pounding world of Without Remorse, starring the one and only Michael B. Jordan as John Kelly. Get ready for intense revenge, jaw-dropping twists, and a roller coaster of emotions. But be warned, spoilers ahead. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, hit pause, go watch it, and then come back here for the full breakdown. Let's go. The movie begins with a group of U.S. Navy SEALs emerging to eliminate some insurgents. They are on a mission to track down a target as they move through the ruins of a building in the streets of Aleppo. Once the building is cleared, Agent Ritter appears and orders them to rescue a CIA hostage being held by Syrian government forces. After brief instructions from Ritter, team leader John Kelly relocates his team to another area in the city. They launch an attack on a suspected building, successfully freeing the hostages. After the mission, Kelly checks the pockets of a dead Syrian soldier and discovers his phone, revealing that the man was an ex-Russian army soldier. Agent Ritter urges Kelly to move on and forget about it. A Russian unit suddenly launches an RPG at them as they're leaving the area. Kelly and his team retaliate, realizing that the location wasn't a safe haven for Syrian forces, but a Russian arms depot. In the midst of the intense firefight, they manage to escape to the top of the building, where a helicopter awaits them. On board the chopper, Kelly blames Ritter for the deaths of his men at the hands of the Russians. They plan to bomb the building and leave. Later, one of Kelly's former team members, now retired and living with his family, is killed by a van outside his house. Another retired team member is assassinated on the road by unknown assailants. These soldiers had been part of the team that helped rescue the CIA hostage in Aleppo 3 years earlier. While Kelly and his wife were preparing to sleep, he moves to the sofa to snack and listen to music. When his laptop shuts down, Kelly realizes that the power in his house has gone out. He hears footsteps approaching and a door opening, so he grabs his revolver from the drawer and follows the sound. He discovers intruders in his home, and in the ensuing chaos, they kill his pregnant wife. Kelly fights back, killing the attackers one by one. Just as he is about to kill the last assailant, Kelly is shot and severely wounded. The attacker, running out of bullets, flees. Kelly crawls to his bedroom but finds his wife dead. He is soon rushed to the hospital. When he wakes up, his Navy SEAL captain, Karen Greer, visits him, informing him that his wife and 2 former team members have been murdered. She also tells him that the remaining SEALs are under heavy security measures. Kelly reveals that the attackers were no ordinary criminals but highly trained professionals. Kelly insists on knowing the identities of the attackers, but Karen claims she doesn't have any answers and advises him to rest while the investigation continues. Kelly eventually recovers and joins a U.S. Army Special Forces team. Meanwhile, the Secretary of Defense holds a meeting with Agents Ritter and Greer. Ritter reveals that the attackers are Russian soldiers and members of the FSB, Russia's Federal Security Service. Ritter explains that the Russians are retaliating for Kelly's team's actions in Aleppo, where they freed the CIA hostage. Despite the CIA's decision not to respond, Ritter continues to investigate. Karen later returns to Kelly, informing him that the Russians who killed his wife and friends are connected to the attack in Aleppo. She shares the files on the Russian passport facilitators who helped the attackers enter the U.S., including a man named Andre. Kelly, now fully motivated to avenge his wife's death, takes matters into his own hands. Kelly pretends to be drunk and heads to Andre's office, but Andre's security sends him away. Determined, Kelly follows Andre's car and causes a collision on the highway. He traps Andre's vehicle, setting it on fire. After a brief struggle, Andre reveals the name of the 4th Russian involved in the operation, Viktor Rykov. Kelly exits the vehicle, but is soon apprehended by the police. Karen visits Kelly in prison, telling him that he's in serious trouble for killing Andre. The Russian government is going to retaliate, and his actions have caused an international incident. However, Kelly reveals his intention to kill everyone responsible for his wife's death. He demands his release, claiming to have information that they need. The next day, a U.S. Marshal arrives to take Kelly to a closed military meeting. Kelly shares what he knows, confirming that Viktor Rykov is the mastermind behind the attacks. Ritter informs the group that Victor is a Russian spy deeply involved in covert operations in the U.S. and has been a long-term target of the CIA. The Secretary of Defense reveals that Victor is currently hiding in Russia. Kelly demands to be part of the mission to capture him, and the Secretary agrees. Karen, Kelly, and his team prepare to board a plane to Russia, but the plane is intercepted by the Russian Air Force. The Russians force them to land in Murmansk, but the pilot refuses. The plane is attacked, causing it to crash in the Barents Sea. Kelly and his team manage to escape the wreckage and take refuge in a Russian safe house. They later travel to Murmansk, where Ritter meets with 2 Russians and money on the table. Kelly accuses Ritter of betrayal, and after a tense confrontation, Ritter admits that he hired the Russians to help guide them to Victor. Despite his anger, Kelly decides not to kill Ritter, who then leads them to Victor's apartment. They find Victor's bodyguards dead, and Victor himself waiting, dressed in a suicide vest. Victor reveals that he did not order the attack on Kelly and his wife, and that someone else orchestrated the entire situation to eliminate both of them. Victor detonates his bomb, killing himself, and a sniper kills one of Kelly's men, Dallas. Kelly and his team fight back, locating and killing the snipers. Russian military and police surround the building, but Kelly and his team escape, using a van to flee. Kelly fights off Russian soldiers and manages to escape disguised as one of them. Kelly meets Karen, and they board a boat to leave Russia, but Kelly remains suspicious of Ritter. On the boat, Kelly presses Ritter for more information, and Ritter explains his actions. He tells Kelly to vanish and start over with a new identity, while the CIA will report him dead. Later, Kelly confronts Secretary Clay, revealing the true reasons behind his mission to Russia. Clay admits that the entire operation was designed to escalate tensions between the U.S. and Russia, pushing both countries toward war to strengthen the economy and unify the people. Kelly drives Clay's car into a river, drowning them both. Karen rescues Kelly from the river, and he hands over a recording of Clay's confession to the CIA. Karen drops Kelly off at the airport, providing him with a new passport. She urges him to start fresh with a new life, away from the violence and pain. The movie ends with Kelly boarding a plane, ready for a new beginning, but still haunted by the past.